Hello and welcome to Ups and Downs, the podcast that shares successful and failure stories from the Nordic entrepreneurial world. Today in the studio we have Eemeli. I hope that
Oh,
I
that
pronounced
was
it
perfect.
correctly.
Yeah.
Great, thanks. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Just did like a 1 hour workshop on pitching here at Startup Weekend also. It was great to come back after
Okay,
seven years since I participated myself.
all right. Do you mind introducing yourself briefly? I know like you
Yeah.
already, but yeah, for the audience.
Yeah, so I'm Emily. I currently work as a project manager at the city of Kalajoki. We're trying to improve the employment levels there and also promote entrepreneurship. I have a very long and strong background in entrepreneurship. I've been working in the field for 10 years now. Coached kids from like primary school level to adults in this kind of like entrepreneurial thinking and creating businesses. So it's in a way a passion of mine.
Okay. And how you decided to accept the offer for leading the pitching workshop here? It was great. I don't know, like, did Viera or like some of the organizers reached out to you or?
Yeah, so I got an
Okay.
email to Emily, would you like to come? I think I did the similar kind of, not a workshop, but a keynote a couple years ago. And I really like helping people and really like pitching is a topic that is very essential. Not only as like a presentation tool, but really understanding what the whole, your idea is about. And
Okay.
it's like a essential working life skill, I would say already that whatever work you're doing, you should be able to put your ideas into short speeches. So I think that was like one of the main reasons that I wanted to come and do the sessions to help out. And the Oulu ecosystem around entrepreneurship is so cool.
Thank you very much for that. And what about Oulu? Yes, you've been part of the board like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
What was your experience? Like we spoke like a few minutes ago
Yeah.
about it. I just want to repeat it, if you
Yeah.
don't mind.
Yeah, so when I moved to Oulu, so I'm originally from the Helsinki area. I moved to Oulu to study at the university in 2017, and I was new to the city, didn't really have that many friends yet. And I've heard from the background that okay, there is this kind of like thing, Oulu Entrepreneurship Society. It's the similar thing that the ones in the south. And then I got involved. First, I got into already in the autumn of 2017 to become the vice chair, and it was so cool. It was so nice to organize different things. Then I decided to apply to become the chair for the next year, and then also that for the next year. So I was the chair of Oulu ES for 2 years, and it gave me so much networks here in Oulu area, and learned a lot of organizing different things. So it was a really good experience.
Okay. Thank you very much for sharing that. Actually, it's interesting because how I heard about OLES, it was during September. Yeah, in September during Startup Weekend, at
Yeah.
the end of it, actually. It was Ville
Yeah.
who actually told me about it and he shared more information afterwards.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's crazy. Like it was around 6 months ago or so, and now I've been part of the board for like a couple of months
Yeah.
since beginning of the year. And yeah, I was going to ask you, what advice would you give to your younger self? It's a very
Yeah.
subjective question. So
Well, if I would go back 7 years when I moved to Oulu, and especially when I started studying at the university, I think I would be even more active also in doing other things than only studying. Especially here in Oulu, the city is big, but still the circles are fairly small. So I would maybe my advice for myself would be that be even more active in going to different events, networking with different people. Because just based on the work that I've done in this area, I pretty much know all the people, but it took me a little bit longer because I wasn't that active in the beginning. So whether you come from abroad to study in Oulu, or if you're a Finn studying in Oulu, the thing that can create a lot of opportunities for you for in the future is to be active, participate. Even though it might not be your area of expertise, or you're a little bit unsure. Do I speak the language?
Good enough or something. Yeah.
Go there. First event,
Yeah.
just hang around,
Okay.
listen. Next event, be a little bit more active. It's like on
Okay.
LinkedIn. First
Okay.
you like, then you comment, then you post.
All right. Oh, great advice. And would you recommend startup weekends to a friend? And if so, why?
Definitely, I think Startup Weekend is it's like a crash course to entrepreneurship. You get during a weekend, you get as much content as you would get on a like a regular entrepreneurship course.
Yeah.
So and it's really based on learning by doing.
Mhm.
So you go through the whole process in like 54 hours. So definitely, you get the experience, you get the networks, and in some cases you might even build a startup that
Yeah.
employs you for the future.
Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Do you want to share anything else or?
I think I've been talking too much.
Yeah, and I
Last
totally
week.
understand. That's why I want to keep it short. So yeah,
Yeah.
thanks very much for watching, listening. See you next Monday.
I think that's sometimes when you do, especially with people that might not have that much like work experience, that you need to have like a good plan. So I remember when we started in January, the first thing I wanted to do is like in a way schedule the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of events, bigger ones, we will have during the spring and in the
Yeah.
autumn. So then we knew already that, okay, we're aiming for this. And then it's easy to include those kind of like quick ad hoc events.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to like, okay, Human Accelerator runs here and there.
Yeah.
Get Shit Done is here and there. And then Startup Crawl is here and there. And from there, then it's easy to include this kind of like smaller things. Because I really wanted, when I was like the chair, I wanted to create something that would be sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Then of course, like when you look in hindsight, we should have done a little bit, even like better documentation
Yeah.
on like what was the concept, why did we do it, what was like
Yeah.
the benefits of it. But
Yeah. I think it's like a learning curve for sure.
yeah, and that's
Also,
like that's the most
yeah.
important thing, that the people who are in the board, they get to organize, so they get the work experience from there, they get the networks.
For sure.
So you learn, and most probably you will fuck up, but that's totally okay.
Yeah.
Because that's like the best, and especially like when you are, like if you're international background, you have come to Oulu to study. So then that's the best way to get to know the companies and those kind of things. And quite often it's like the lower the threshold is, the better the event. So I really like the concepts that you have, like the Dine and Disrupt, a very nice like take on like a speaking event, that you keep food, because that's like the best motivator for any event. Free food.
Yeah.
So those kind of things. So that would be like a very like good backbone for the whole organization. Okay, these kind of things we do, and then on top of that, then there's easy. You can build. Okay, we do this one big seminar per year.
Yeah.
So that's like how the other, I think, entrepreneurship societies also have built their things, and then
Started from there.
yeah.
Yeah, basically something similar. We also did like a master plan in the beginning, where we decided, okay, let's do these events weekly or bi-weekly, and we focus on few. Dine and Disrupt is one of them. We have like Friday morning breakfast where we just present the concept of it, and the OLS club, so to say.
Yeah.
And then we plan like a few bigger ones. For example, like a hackathon. Another thing is like an excursion abroad, like for the active members on the board, so they can network. But yeah, as you said, like a lot of things went well, some things didn't went that well. And yeah, we improved, and we move on.
Like we had like one project funding also when I was the chair.
Oh.
It was part of this kind of like a national thing, so we had a little bit bigger one.
Cool.
But yeah, it was pretty. I think like the highest I managed to pitch from the three was like 7 or 8.
Okay.
So but it's just like you have to have a plan, and then you have to have be convincing. But it's always hard, because basically you should pitch for the money for the next year always in the end of the year. So it's
In
basically
advance, Actually, yeah, this is something that we also started to work on. Maybe again,
Yeah.
it's like after 1/3 of the year or so.
Yeah.
But we got a grant from Startup Foundation.
Yeah.
It's not, it's like on the smaller scale, so
Yeah.
to say. Like it was particularly for like the AI hackathon.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, Jarmo from Cubicasa. Jarmo
Yeah.
Lumpus. Now
Yeah.
he's not from Cubicasa, but he contributed from his current company Mentor Mate
Yeah.
to the prize pool, and basically collaborations, and
Yeah.
we're,
Yeah. I
we're
think the Startup Foundation is trying to take like a stronger role
yeah.
in really like pumping up the national level impact of the entrepreneurship society. So that's really good.
We got introduced to them like I think beginning of January. There was like
Yeah.
an ES meetup in
Yeah.
Helsinki.
Yeah. There was Niklas
Nicholas,
presenting.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was quite good, and basically Josefina presented there about Startup Foundation.
Yeah.
Before this, I had no clue what Startup
Yeah.
Foundation is,
Yeah.
and yeah, the goal is quite good. Like 100 companies worth